Okay. Seriously? Why is it always when I'm live streaming? Okie doke, ladies and gentlemen. I see the comments starting up right now. Hey, Crypto Head. Right? That's what I'm talking about. Hey, guys. Thanks for blowing up the comments. Be sure to share us out on Reddit under our cryptocurrency, if you don't mind, and blow this up on Twitter, which is, of course, where we get this news today. You'll notice that I've got a slightly different camera setup than usual, so apologies that some of the green screen is, not fully occluding the background there. CryptoMine Tech, thanks so much for the super chat there. Really appreciate it. So, guys, let's talk about this just a little bit. Really appreciate you guys being there. Chris, that's it's not a terrible way to start, right? I'm going to get this stuff out of the background here, and let's focus on the main event, right? And from a miner's perspective, guys, as you know, when you buy, you can mine. Wow, all kinds of speculation on price action there. I can't do that, guys. I can't do that. I can't talk that way. That's not my strength, and definitely I don't pretend to have the kind of wisdom necessary to be able to advise anyone on when to buy, what the targets are, how to enter the market. So be patient with me as I go through this process here. So what I wanted to talk about was what this means to us as miners, right? There are a bunch of miners in the audience who are just kind of wondering, where do I go with all this? There it is. Okay, cool. But hey, AZ, good to see you there in the comments. Quick viewer shout out, guys. CryptoHead, thanks for being here early. I dig big blocks, Pete. CryptoMine Tech, thanks again. Chris Ford, AZ. Yeah, no financial advice, no crystal ball. All I've got is a fancy camera and a podcasting microphone. It's amazing what we do when people talk to us this way, right? It's kind of crazy. So, yeah, CryptoMine Tech, I think you're not wrong. I think we probably are seeing some pretty gnarly manipulation. I mean, these are crazy, perilous times that we live in, right? So keep your wits about you, boys. I will say that. Go ahead and keep on sharing that link out. And CryptoMine Tech, I agree with you. Keep on mining. Whatever you do not turn off your rigs. If you can at all afford to run them, even at a slight loss right now, do not turn them off. That is the one bit of advice that from one trustworthy miner to another one, don't turn off your rigs. Or if somebody says, I'm going to turn off my rigs, what I say? Hey, you first. You first. Yeah, Magic 8 Ball. I could definitely do the Magic 8 Ball right now. So, guys, I'm just propagating this out to Discord. I jumped right in because I didn't want to leave you guys in the lobby, make you think, hey, Seth is going to put us in the holding tank for 10 minutes right now while he attempts to go live. We're done with that. Today, on a day like today, we can't afford to do that. We've got to get tactical, right? We've got to know what do we actually intend to do. What's our plan? I know for my part, I'm with CryptoMine Tech. Don't turn the rigs off, right? Don't turn the rigs off. If anything, right now is the time to get in with mining your own free coins. So don't turn your rigs off, no matter what you do. Let me get this out of the way real fast. But here's the announcement from CoinDesk, and let's take a look at the actual SEC notice right here, because I like getting stuff straight from the horse's mouth. I'm not a huge fan of just parroting what other news outlets have already told you. And I'm not a huge fan of bringing something that isn't a genuine value, right? Thomas, good to see you in the comments. But CoinDesk put it this way. Yeah, so it says the SEC has also disapproved 2 Bitcoin ETFs from Granite shares. And they are probably linking to exactly what I have right there. No, actually, that's a new one. Bummer. So we've got them both up and running right here. So guys, this stuff is breaking. Stuff is breaking. This is just happening right now. Joseph, thanks for tuning in. Haven't seen your comments before. Appreciate it. Frankie, 2 times. I'm with you. Anybody want to sell a GPU? Because I know a lot of eager buyers. A lot of eager buyers right now. Especially for the used GPU market, guys. Hit us up over at the Mind Your Biz Discord. We will gladly take them off your hands. We'll even take them off your hands in bulk. But, yeah. So here's how CoinDesk put the news, guys. Actually, they did a pretty good job of being very tactical with this. Sometimes they talk around it, and right now, no, they're talking directly about it. Lisa, good to see you in the comments. Lisa says she's mining Ether 1. Yeah, so masternodes are not a terrible idea right now when it seems like it's harder to keep the electricity going for your mining rigs. And a balanced approach, of course, as we'll call ourselves block producers, right? Not just miners. Yeah, so a balanced approach is probably the best way to move forward, right? We're still interested in supporting the network, air quotes, supporting the network, supporting the technology. There is that aspect of it also, right? When we totally bounce, then these coin projects are left on their own. They have to go and rent hash power from other data centers and stuff. They've got to dip into their developer funds. Hopefully they were liquid. Hopefully they already pulled them out. It's kind of ironic, right? Because you want to show faith in your own project, but hopefully they were liquid and hopefully they were able to keep themselves prepared for that. So awesome. Frankie 2 times has got his GTX 1070 going for $240. But again, guys, you're always welcome to sell. Those of us who want to mine we're gonna keep buying. Patrick is saying the only one that has hope is the SIBO, and that will not likely pass either. And I want to say SIBO is set for the announcement tomorrow. Is that right, guys? Pardon my ignorance. I don't normally focus so much on this stuff, and I haven't been as focused on the passing the Bitcoin ETF as maybe I should have been. But this got my attention because clearly, with the price action of all of crypto over the last week, it has affected mining, right? Big time affected mining. Lisa mentioned she's mining Ether 1. What are you guys mining? What are you mining right now? And yeah, totally. Hey, Mac, I appreciate the suggestion there. If we can, we will do that. Yeah, we will. Let's talk about stuff that's kind of more directly related to mining right now. Guys, thanks so much for being tuned in live. Anybody who hasn't already been live on the channel before, welcome. And my name is Seth Estrada, of course. You're tuned into my YouTube channel right now, Seth Estrada. Over on BitTube and on Facebook, we have the 24/7 Mind Your Biz TV. And so all of our programming goes into rotation there. We'll probably repeat this particular live stream all day and through tomorrow until we have breaking news. Probably keep it on repeat on those live channels. But wow, Ethereum Classic, I'm reading a lot of, also in the forums, right? So Joseph is asking how similar are these rejected ETFs to the ones involved in the September 30th decision. And Crypto Mind Tech is saying, Casper, the solution is ETC. Die Dig Big Blocks is mining Metaverse and staking it. Okay. Hey, Myron. Good to see you. Yeah, so Thomas, you're not wrong. Keeping projects completely organic and allowing them to just grow in value organically is not a bad plan. But right now, as miners, this is going to affect everything we do. Every project is going to be affected by this Bitcoin ETF and the fact that the SEC has disapproved it. Let's go over the first one because there are 2 different orders here. And I just want to go over some of the highlights, right? And Chris Ford, I appreciate what you're saying, right? Understanding the price action of silicon probably affects us more than understanding the price action of the coins, right? Because that's our CapEx and that's our actual out-of-pocket expense. So seeing this, it just helps us kind of know how profitable we're going to be for the next little while. And based on everything I'm reading, based on everything I'm hearing, this could have long-reaching effects. Let me pull up also, guys, just really quick, CoinGecko, and have that at the ready. So we have a little bit of... Yeah, as the news hits, as the news hits, we're going to see this get probably just a little bit more intense. Khalid, good to see you in the comments. Thanks for saying hello. So Lisa's mining, she says Ethereum Classic, and then Moac, Atheos, eGem. Okay. Yeah, eGem has been very vocal in our Discord channel, our Discord server. So, yeah, mining and selling. So I don't know if Moac is liquid enough. Maybe we'll take a look at it a little later on. But make projects work with Ripple. So go, somebody get this guy out of here. Yeah. So it is possible. AZ saying that it could dip super hard in a couple of weeks and then leave the door open to bottom feed top coins and GPUs. It's very possible, guys. There's no telling. What I would say is that when stuff like this happens, the biggest mistake is to turn off your rigs and stop paying attention to what it is that you're mining. Be mindful of the projects that you want to support. And I mean that in the most sincere way. Projects that you think have really good governance, projects that you think have really good direction and leadership, projects that you think have a proper vision, a proper mission. Got to hand it to Horizon, right? The new Zencash, Horizon. They are doing the right thing. They're absolutely doing the right thing right now. So by circling the wagons and saying, this is what we're about, this is where we're headed. Ron, I wish I could tell you. I don't know. I don't know what the Acorn performance is. I don't have one, so I can't comment. Reynaldo, good to see you, buddy. So, yeah, I'm seeing a bunch of people mining. I'm going to pull open what to mine also and see what we've got. Yep, and see what we've got that's it's profitable. Crypto North, thanks you for tuning in. Thank you for being engaged. Anybody who's got a problem with the content right now or a problem with it being a little bit drawn out, maybe ask better questions. But legit, if you got a problem with us moving kind of at real time here and not having a pre-prepared live stream, then maybe you don't understand what's going on, actually. So going over the first ETF, or the first announcement right here from the SEC. So this is stated today. Yeah, so, and I wanted to look that up, guys. I'm seeing comments about Moac possibly not being very liquid, and that would be my primary concern, is the liquidity of any kind of coin that you're mining right now if you're looking to mine and dump. And I don't even know that mining and dumping is the best possible thing to do. You guys know that for me, I've been heavily invested in creating content for BitTube and in generating airtime, which is sort of, it's their shared block reward for creators. It's not mining per se, but it is block production. It's block reward creation. And just watching profit kind of dwindle. It's like, even though the airtime goes up and the block rewards go up, like it's rough. It's been rough lately. So Khalid, I think you're right. I think that Genesis Mining and some of the other big players are trying to push the home miner out of the game. Pizza, good to see you, buddy. Thank you so much for posting the link over in the Discord server. Really appreciate that. So I dig big blocks, absolutely. Mine and stake, hold your ground, be a strong hand right now. And there's not even anything wrong with trading right now too. You don't have to hodl, right? So you guys saw Corey Round and I go live the last time we did the market chat with Corey. And he mentioned one of the worst pieces of advice is to hodl, right? So, yeah. Well, hey, Crypto North, if that's what you're doing, if you've got ASICs that you've already got pointed at BTC and LTC, then absolutely. You just get that coin, right? And you figure even if you are mining at a loss for a short time, and Denny2Des, you look like Litecoin Lucky. Interesting. Or I guess everybody who's got a Litecoin avatar looks like Litecoin Lucky. Yeah. And Khalid, you're right. Whoever is doing the market manipulation absolutely is crapping where they eat. They're causing serious trouble. But as we've seen in the past, right, with bad actors and selfish miners in the mining space who pursue 51% attacks, that doesn't stop some of these bad actors. So Khalid, you're saying, Seth, how can we HODL if power cost is 70% of mining income? That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. HODL is terrible advice. And so it is terrible advice for mining as well. Guys, let's get tactical. If you want to weather the storm as a miner, potentially consider just managing your overhead, like managing, focus on mitigating the damage, right? Bringing down the damage. Manage your overhead. Keep the lights on, of course, right? Or turn the lights off and just keep the miners on, right? Strip things down to the bare essentials and limit your overhead. Just whatever you can do. Whatever you can do. If you have to relocate and co-locate your machines, then relocate and co-locate your machines. If you know that you've got a friend or an associate or any possible solution to get you a cent off of your price per kilowatt hour, do it. Lean up the operation, right? And Denny, I'm with you. Yeah, mine low, sell high. Just don't turn off the miners. Keep on mining. Stay focused on it. As long as you're not mining at a loss, you're fine. So, and Crypto Mine Tech, what you're saying as far as gaining day trading experience to be able to play the waves, I'm totally with you. And guys, I'll be the first to admit some ignorance here. Guys, thank you so much for being tuned in live. We're talking about the Bitcoin ETF, and thank you for hitting that like button. Thanks for hitting the subscribe button, clicking the bell icon so that you know. Thomas, botnets. Yeah, botnets. Possibly, guys. Yeah, moderators, be vigilant, because I have recently been targeted by a spam ring. I don't know what happened the last couple of days, and I'm not going to name names. I don't want to give any more attention to the coin projects than they already got from this spam ring and the botnet. But bunch of fake accounts, right? That were talking about, oh, I can't believe that I had missed out on whatever it was, DentaCoin or whatever, and the other stuff. I made that up. But a bunch of other projects that have been spamming every video that comes out. Yeah, hey, Lewis, that makes sense. If you're off grid, that's great. If you're off grid or doing your own power cogeneration, that's awesome. And AZ, you're asking, with GPU prices coming down for the 1080s and 1080 Ti's, are they starting to look attractive? Yeah, I think so. And yeah, guys, price is not, we're not getting ultra wrecked yet. So I'm on CoinGecko, just going to look into Bitcoin right here. Down 1.8%. Here's our real time. And yeah, volume isn't significantly changed right now. Maybe a little uptick in volume. Let me move that from full screen right there. See right there, slight uptick in volume, trade volume, but I mean, not massive, not massive. Crypto Mine Tech, thank you so much for that super chat and saying smash the like button, peeps. Appreciate it. You get an air horn. Haha. Yeah, it was nuts, AZ. I don't know. So I sincerely hope that was not actually the DentaCoin project paying for spam on my account. So, hey, Joseph says he picked up a 1080 Ti for $450 today. That's killer. That is killer. Yeah. And Crypto Mine Tech, like you're saying, guys, buy up the weak hands. You know that I've been focused on that P104 group buy, and I've got some in inventory. I got browbeat by somebody the other day or yesterday over on D Live. I was testing out so multicasting. You guys really want to hear the air horn? How about this? We got to talk about something that merits the air horn. But claps for suggesting that you use the air horn. Thank you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here where we talk about the ETF being denied. So it's pretty much, yeah, I mean, I think we're business as usual, right? I mean, as far as mining goes, same with when the ETFs were approved or when they were proposed. And I think we talked about it. What does the ETF mean for mining? And Khalid, it's called Mine Your Biz, the Discord group, and then shop.mineyour.biz. Yeah, guys, I'm with you. And this is actually green lit. Oh dear. Whoa. This should have been green lit already. So I'm just going to throw that out there. Wow. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. And that is the thing, guys. GPU crypto mining looks like it's in a weird position. What if I told you that I have lined up for the show tomorrow? You know how I had Leonardo Render on the show last week? You remember how I had them on the show to talk about alternate GPU compute bounties? Guess who I have for tomorrow? I have Vector Dash coming onto the show tomorrow to talk about it. Wasn't planned, obviously. Okay, yeah, no, it totally was. I'm the whale that manipulated the market. Yeah, obviously not. But yeah, so Vector Dash Sharif from Vector Dash is coming onto the show tomorrow. We're going to talk about alternate GPU compute bounties because, guys, there's never been a better time. I've got workstation class cards, as you know, the dual GPU cards here. 1080 Ti's, as you're picking them up cheap, are going to work great for alternate GPU compute bounty. David is saying that Wall Street is not going to get us where we want to be. We need to start pushing for real-world adoption of our coins. Yeah, no, I agree. The ETF is only one small component. It's a very important component. Don't get me wrong. I think it's important. But with David's sentiment, you're right with that also. But guys, it goes back to what you keep hearing me say. We have to educate grandma. Grandma needs to be able to use crypto today, or hopefully sometime before she dies, right? And we need to start, seeing what the other real-world applications are. Hey, Lewis, you know what? I reached out to Render Token, and we haven't been able to arrange a time yet. I think it's because right now they just have their benchmarking suite, and they do not have the full product out yet. So, Crypto Mind Tech, I appreciate you asking. I had Leonardo Render on the show last week. I'm going to have Vector Dash on the show tomorrow, and we're going to talk about that pretty directly, about how current mine operators can put their GPUs to work, earning bounties on other stuff. So, yeah, and Lisa's not wrong either. Crypto is meant to be peer-to-peer. It's meant to be sort of a currency by the people for the people. So, you know, we've got to stay true to Satoshi's vision. Is it too soon to say that? I think it's too soon to say that. But look at this right now, guys. Look at what the SEC said specifically. So here's the preface. On December 4th, 2017, the New York Stock Exchange filed with the Securities and Exchange Commission a proposed rule change to list and trade the shares of the ProShares Bitcoin ETF and the ProShares Short Bitcoin ETF. On January 30th, pursuant to Section 19B2, the Commission designated a longer period within which to approve the proposed rule change. You remember that happened? We're like, it's going to take forever. On March 23rd, the Commission instituted proceedings under Section 19B2B to determine whether to approve or disapprove the proposed rule change. And now let's get past this entire wall of text because it's actually going to be super boring. And I know that I'm just reading it, so we'll jump ahead to the conclusion. And in the conclusion, because you see, it is just a gnarly wall of text. They got a lot of comments. They say that they considered them. Frankly, I don't think that they did. You guys heard the hearings and you got my feedback on the hearings, right? Other comments. Conclusion. For the reasons set forth above, the Commission does not find, pursuant to Section 19B2 of the Exchange Act, that the proposed rule change is consistent with the requirements of the Exchange Act and the rules and regulations thereunder applicable to a national securities exchange, in particular with Section 6B5 of the Exchange Act. It is therefore ordered, pursuant to Section 19B2 of the Exchange Act, that proposed rule change is disapproved. Hey, Catfish, good to see you in the comments. Thanks for saying hello. Thank you, Eduardo Ailman, for letting us know. And we're going to look up that section. Specifically looking up that section, because they say that in particular section 6B5 is what they took issue with, and that's why it didn't pass. So I want to take a look at that just a little later on, guys. People ask, how do you figure out which way to go in making a decision, determining which direction to go with a coin project or with news like this? You do your homework. Chris Robinson asks, hello, Seth. Do you know if the August batch of Acorns and or the SQRL miner are on target to be shipped next week? Welcome back to the Seth Estrada Show, where I have answers for every company working in the mining ecosystem. I'm kidding. So I don't. Yeah, Chris, I'm sorry. I don't. I was in touch with the minority team this week, though. Had a phone call with the minority team this week. We talked about some other stuff, and since visiting Ohio, I haven't been in touch with the SQRL team. So I don't know. I don't know what else is coming out of SQRL today in terms of news. The best way to get news is to join the minority Discord server and then the FPGA Discord server. And then you're going to find that GPU Hoarder is very active there and is trying to answer questions with the best info that he has. But frankly, the answer that I keep hearing is wait a little longer. We're not quite ready to make the official announcement as to when stuff is shipping yet. I think that's what I'm reading there. But if you're in Discord, you'll get feedback direct from GPU Hoarder and from the SQRL team. We've got a couple of other SQRL team members that are there to answer questions all day. Hey, Ronaldo, thanks so much for the super chat. Really appreciate that. And Nicola is saying, we don't need ETF, but we need money. That, sir, is correct. Hey, Ray the Muss. Hello, we have a Kiwi in the audience, folks. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in all the way from New Zealand. And Khalid is saying, I think miners around the world should perform organized 51% attack on Ethereum network until Vitalik and Ethereum team hard fork it to make sure equality among miners and push big guys who have Ethash ASICs out. Wow, I don't know how we would go about doing that, considering that the majority of the hash rate is in these very large GPU mines. But if you want to organize it, I will do a live stream of it. How about that? And then I'll pretend like I don't know who did it. They'll never guess. Awesome. And Hector's asking, hey, Seth, time to sell? I do not give market signals. I don't. And I just, because frankly, I just don't think I can. I don't think I've got it like that, right? In terms of the skill set. So the other order right here is for the SIBO right here. So self-regulatory organization, SIBO BZX exchange, order disapproving a proposed rule to change to list and trade shares of the Granite Shares Bitcoin ETF and the Granite Shares Short Bitcoin ETF. So same thing. But theirs was pursuant to Section 19B1 of the Securities Exchange Act of 1934, not 19B2. So, oh, sorry, right there. And then they invoke Section 19B2. Let's jump to the chase, right? Cut to the chase here, guys. Go to the very end. Yeah, so I will agree with Rod. Hector, if you're selling, we also the Mind Your Biz Discord group. Go over there and we'll arrange OTC purchase. We'll take care of you, buddy. Don't worry. Sell us your GPUs, sell us your coins, guys. Alrighty. Plenty of analysis in these. And guys, I'll have a link to these in the Discord. So let me see if I can actually create a link here. Interestingly, I've noticed that I've not been able to drop links into my own chat, which is weird. There we go. So Mind Your Biz Discord, if you go to the market chat, you go to the market room, then we'll have links to both of these orders from the SEC. So market and trading chat. I'll post a link to this one as well. So now both of those links direct to the SEC's website are there. So I'm being asked if I got a hold of a specific coin project. No, I didn't yet. I apologize. I have to get a hold of them soon. So guys, as you know, I do bounty-free interviews with coin projects and developers. And I do that because, I need to be able to ask questions and not worry about whether or not I'm going to hurt anyone's feelings by asking unfiltered questions. So Thomas, there is an entire subsection of the Mind Your Biz Discord server that is for buying and selling, actually. Guys, I got a lot of commentary about what the Ethereum Foundation should do. This is a tough one, right? This is a really tough one. We know that things should be better for miners, right? In a perfect world, things would be better for miners. We'd be profitable. We would have a fairer access to block rewards somehow, right? But pools have changed all that, and it's been this way for a couple of years now. So it's a tough proposition, and unless you are voting, then it's hard to make any kind of a change there. But it's interesting that we're getting so many comments regarding what you think that the Ethereum Foundation should do. I'm going to scroll back through the comments and get some comments from here, guys, and look for questions. But while doing that, I'm going to look for the Granite Shares conclusion. All right. Copy pasta, guys. In particular, Section 6B-5 of the Exchange Act. So here's Section 6B-5. Pop that up for posterity's sake. Make it a little bit bigger. Wow, that it doesn't like to, whatever. Doesn't like to highlight that very well. It says the rules of the exchange are designed to prevent fraudulent and manipulative acts and practices, to promote just and equitable principles of trade, to foster cooperation and coordination with persons engaged in regulating, clearing, settling, processing information with respect to and facilitating transactions and securities, to remove impediments to and perfect the mechanism of a free and open market and a national market system, and in general, to protect investors and the public interest, and are not designed to permit unfair discrimination between customers, issuers, brokers, or dealers, or to regulate by virtue of any authority conferred by this chapter matters not related to the purpose of this chapter or the administration of the exchange. So it sounds like the SEC had a hard time figuring out how to keep the ETF from being manipulated. And frankly, we saw market manipulation not long ago. So, and this, of course, yeah, I don't know. This could be, as was mentioned in the comments, this could be the greatest market manipulation of them all, right? Because they could do a crazy Ivan. And if you've seen The Hunt for Red October, that movie, that phrase will mean something to you. But they could pull a crazy Ivan. And we could find that in 2019, the SEC's like, yeah, we were just kidding. This is fine. Sure. Bitcoin futures, whatever. Yeah, we don't know. Yeah. And Roderick hit the nail on the head. To protect us from manipulation publicly, well, of course, anybody with the means to do so has been able to participate in trading Bitcoin and various other coins for a long time now. So at least publicly, this decision is intended to protect U.S. citizens and then set precedent for the international finance community. Privately, we don't know who holds a bag of whatever, right? There's no way we can know. It's kind of cool. Unless there's been some sort of conclusive link to various different wallet addresses to, members of the decision-making process here, participants in the decision-making process. And Patrick, I love that comment. You're totally right. The BTC market cap is too small. And to use as a case in point, I personally, not going to name names, not going to name the coin, but I personally know individuals who hold a significant percentage of certain coins. And no, not the dev teams. But it's possible to hold a significant percentage of the coins. In Forex, for example, you're never going to own 1% of the pound, the British pound sterling. You're not, unless you happen to be like the wealthiest person in great. Unless you're like literally like Richard Branson himself. And then the same is true of the U.S. dollar. Right? You're not gonna hold that much of the available supply as you can in crypto, just because there are people who've been around for 10 years paying attention to the market and gobbling up as much BTC as possible. So, yeah. And yeah, it does seem like regulation can hurt the small investor by reducing choices, to AZ's point. It does seem like that. And Denny's saying that a whale sold 700 million worth of Bitcoin. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's pretty crazy. So here, it happened, guys. Here's CoinGecko. There's BTC. Trade volume, not a giant spike. Let me take a look at the overall market right here. So top 10 at least. Ethereum down. We'll dive in a little deeper there. EOS, not going to comment. Ripple, not going to comment. Just because they're not mineable. That's the only reason I'm not going to comment. Oh yeah, no, Neil, you're right. Yeah, Richard Branson is a popper by comparison. And then Litecoin and Monero. Pop up in a couple of other mineable alts here. Yeah, Lisa, I'm with you. I don't want to comment on the debate between Bitcoin Core and Bitcoin Cash. Yeah, it's a pretty good likeness. Pretty close. Yeah, round of applause. Just kidding. So I'm not going to comment on that. But with Ethereum, yeah, also volume doesn't seem like it's gone crazy over the last 24 hours. Yes, things have dipped a bit today, I think possibly in anticipation of the decision, but the volume isn't ultra high, so it's not like people are like going nuts. And not available. Thank you for the heart on Monero, Faded. Thank you for making it into the comments. Good to see you. Bitcoin Cash. We're going to talk about Bitcoin Cash and why it's the real Bitcoin. But the price has been... No, the price has kind of done what everything else has been doing over the last several minutes. Bitcoin Cash, get it right. Yeah, so I saw the soundbite on what Richard Hart thinks of Bitcoin Cash. It's interesting, and I think he's not wrong with his interview with Omar Bam over at Crypto's News. I think he's not wrong. It is another alt. It's just another alt, and it's an alt that has a focus on usability, fungibility, which is great. That's great. There's room for it in the market, and he's doing awesome. Springmeister, good to see you in the comments. Thank you for saying hello. Roger Ver is the real Bitcoin, ex-BitCo. That's his secret. Is Bitcoin Cash is not the real Bitcoin. He is the real Bitcoin. Oh, I've got somebody. So I've got a buddy that oddly enough this morning that was complaining to me about how there's, to give some perspective, right? We're like, man, those whales, they're always manipulating the price in crypto. I've got a buddy that plays Magic the Gathering and has for years, and has a hard time finding certain exclusive cards because there is price manipulation in Magic the Gathering card collector circles. So yeah, the Terry B, Bitcoin Cash may as well be Bitmain Cash. Oh, I need to get that. I need to get the rim shot on my yeah. That's what I need. I need to have on my soundboard. Sorry, guys. I need to have that. added soon. But yeah, Bitcoin Cash about the same. Litecoin. But guys, volume doesn't appear to be like ridiculously high right now. It's maybe jumped up a tiny little bit, but not a ton. So this is crazy. Monero, put your hands together for the mineable privacy coin. Wow. Okay. Hey, Bob, thanks so much for saying hello. Thank you so much for being supportive in the comments. Appreciate it. Yeah, maybe we should put Magic the Gathering on blockchain, but I think it could cause real anguish for people. I think what we would need to do is issue some kind of different token. Hey, T-Boy, thank you so much for the reminder. We had, thankfully, Pizza posting for us in the Discord. All right, so yeah, guys, volume is kind of what I'm looking at right now, and I'm not seeing the volume shift all that much. Here we are with Monero, and pricing is a little bit low, but it looks like we're kind of riding it out, right? Zcash. You know what? Forget Zcash. Oh my gosh. Volume was notably different, notably low this morning. What's up with that? Okay. Thomas is right. We need a canary to save us. Save us, Canary Coin. You're our only hope. Ethereum Classic. Suffering the same fate as all the others. Looks like it's a very similar curve. And interestingly, volume spiking, right? So you do see weird volume spikes today. But it could also just be that the volume is relatively low. Dang. But no volume fluctuations of 100 million. Hour over hour. You see that? Or I'm sorry, like minute to minute there. So we're not actually going hour over hour, but every 15 minutes or so. Weird fluctuations. Maybe we need to look at a slightly different view. Get a better sense for what that should be. I think it's with the listing on Coinbase, ETC has had its own little journey that it's on, right? Yeah. I think that we're actually seeing there. So yeah, guys. Hey, Justin, thank you for saying hello in the comments. Appreciate that. Yeah, Patrick, I'm with you. This is business as usual, guys. Seeing the volume kind of be normal tells me that for mining, we're in a good position. We're not, it's not too bad, right? Yeah, ETC, the little mineable alt that could. Raven, hey, Bemused Caffeine, thanks for bringing that up. Raven, I probably should try to take a look at as well, because it is mineable, and there are several of us who are trying to mine it. Trying to stay focused on mining it. Basic attention token. Really want to get BAT on the show. So hey guys, anybody with a connection at a basic attention token, have them reach out to me. Let's get that interview going. I'm really curious. Really curious to see how it's integrated into the Brave browser. So here's Raven. Oh yeah, holding strong. 270 sats. Volume just kind of went down today. There is a noticeable curve there, a noticeable trend down the bottom line there. Volume is a bit lower as of this morning. I don't know what happened there, guys. I don't know what the deal is with the Raven community. And so again, you know, I look at this stuff and I try to just maintain a totally open, disclosure, right? Oh my gosh, guys, I'm not even gonna lie. I'm so tired today. I was not ready for this. I was not ready for this. SEC, why? Why? But I try to maintain a little bit of vulnerability about my personal abilities. Like, I'm not going to pretend to be somebody that is qualified to give advice. I'm not going to pretend to be somebody that knows how to give recommendations or buying signals. But what I will say is that for mining, I think I'm not seeing anything disturbing. I don't think I'm seeing anything sinister, and I don't think I'm seeing anything that anybody should have cause for alarm about. Profit is low, but it's, yeah, Justin, I probably should drink some more mate or some green tea, man. I love me some jasmine green tea in the morning or mate. Good call. I skipped my mate today. Gonna have to fix that tomorrow. But it just kind of looks like it's smooth. If volume isn't going crazy, then I don't know. This might only be exchange volume, right? I mean, this doesn't actually measure. This can't measure OTC, can it? Just like wallet to wallet. That's what I need to know, right? Because if miners are selling OTC at times like this, then we would never know from looking at representations like this on these sites like CoinGecko and CoinMarketCap, right? Yeah, XBitco, I appreciate you saying it. Kava. Yeah, right, something. Either that or I just need like, an IV drip of Ethereum Classic. No, I don't need it. I don't need an IV drip of Ethereum Classic. What I do need to do is build out the basement so I can move all of my cards over there because I've had too many of them sitting. Too many, too long. So yeah, guys, I'm not seeing anything that has me super concerned. Raven looks like something else happened today. I don't know what that's all about. If you have any insight into what that's all about, or anybody who's interested and has access to the Raven team, have them reach out as well. I'd love to have Raven on the channel. I had Luke Spaghetti from the Pigeon Coin project. That was a fun interview. They've gone to a community base. Also, hey, this is breaking, but you'll see it in their Discord. This is a public announcement from the Pigeon Coin team, but they are adding a 5% developer fee or block reward, 5% developer block reward. But that's because it's gone community, because it's a community project now, because they've completely handed it over to the community. So they wanted to bankroll some or create some incentive and a central pool that they could then have the community direct. So I think that's super cool. Okay, so I've got questions coming in. So Justin's asking, how do you separate the questions of what to hold and what to mine? Are they the same for you? No, they're not the same for me. They're not the same. And I think that miners that want to look at this as a serious business can't view them as being the same. If you only ever mined coins that you wanted to hold, if that was all you ever mined, that's just one business. That's just one business model, right? That's one business plan. But there's room for other business plans when it comes to mining. So you can mine speculatively with coins that you have no intention of holding. You can mine, as was mentioned before, where you know that 70% of the revenue is your overhead. So mine and dump, or mine and then put into a fund. If you know that the price action is favorable, put it into a fund for 7 days or whatever, hold it for a while, or hold it for 14 days, whatever it is it takes. So, Denny, we actually have more than 30 viewers. Guys, thank you so much for hitting that like button. Thank you so much for being subscribed and clicking the bell icon. Go ahead and, slam the likes. What? So, yeah, I mean, if you know it's an exit scam, if you have some kind of insider info, then it's insider info, but there's no law against that when it comes to mining. Guys, this is crypto. And while I think it's a terrible thing to do, it makes you a terrible person if you are participating in what you know is an exit scam. I can't tell you not to do it. That's the frustrating thing, right? I can't tell you not to. If you know it's an exit scam and you're still participating and you've been able to mine a big old bag of whatever, exit scam coin, that should totally be a thing. ESC, exit scam coin. Like it's like the token or the ticker is like the escape button, right? ESC, exit scam coin. What's your long-term strategy for this coin? Escape with the pre-mine. So yeah, if you know that there's something going on with the coin and you can profit, yeah, it does make you a terrible person. It just does. But you can dump it as soon as you know. I mean, I know several miners that have done that where they're like, yeah, I found out it was a coin I don't really like and I don't really support, so I dumped it. Yeah, you maintain your integrity, right? You got out. But if you wait until the precise moment, like, oh, sweet, it's mooning, now dump it. You pump it first, then that's terrible. Absolutely terrible. Yeah, Beat Connect. Funny prank coin, yeah. Exit scam coin. Should make a website for it. Like we won't have anything but a website. Exit scam coin. Send your Ethereum to this address. Alrighty, guys. Let me just double check to see if there are any comments or questions that I missed. Sorry, I don't know why my comments are not live on screen right now. So I apologize for that. Something is not quite right. All right, as people are asking about I think primarily the questions that I've had, guys, are regarding whether it's time to sell, what should we do? And Crypto Mind Tech had a question, a very tactical question about GTX 1060 6 gig cards being able to work for AI compute bounty. And I think it's possible because they can execute the CUDA instruction sets. They can leverage CUDA instruction sets. So anything by NVIDIA is going to be good for AI compute and for render as well. So yeah, even though you guys know I'm largely Team Red, when it comes to AI and rendering, if you've got NVIDIA cards, you're in a good position. That's kind of the bottom line there. So 1060, 1070, 1080, 1080 Ti, you're in a better position than if you didn't have them. And as far as renting things out, you guys know I'm going to have Vector Dash on the show tomorrow, and then Render Token soon, I think. All right. Okay, so guys, those are primarily the questions. And I think the bottom line question is, what does this mean for us as far as miners? Josh is mentioning that the Zencash nodes, you believe that they are a great way to get involved. They might be. Yeah, they might be. I'm impressed with what the Zencash team has been doing. And my interview with Rowan, for me, was a big eye-opener. Ooh, okay. Are we going to go towards RTX 2080, guys? I think I kind of have to talk about RTX 2080 before the end of the live stream because I've been avoiding going public about it, but I think that we need to go there. But yeah, people talking about masternodes. Not a terrible time for masternodes. It's really not. And with Zencash. Oh, hey, I'm sorry I didn't see your comment there. It is good to see you. Thanks for saying hello. And then Daryl as well. Thanks for saying hello. But yeah, the question of getting masternode set up, secure node or a super node from Zencash, probably not a terrible idea. But with masternodes in general, I urge caution. It is definitely something to be careful with because it represents a sunk cost, right? So there are interesting comments regarding rendering, and they are let me drop some knowledge here. It's true and false. Not all rendering requires ray tracing, but all ray tracing is a form of rendering. Hey, Q Mining, thank you for saying hello. Appreciate it. And Christian, thank you for saying hello as well. Appreciate that. Let me pull open NVIDIA's site. Go get the info straight from the horse's mouth. Ooh, flashy graphics. Were they ray traced? Maybe. Were they rendered? Definitely. Okay, guys, I want you to understand there's a distinction there. Yep, and Osiris, appreciate you giving that call out there. So Zencash did just rebrand to Horizon, but the token is still called Zen, so ZEN. And they are creating a much larger infrastructure than just their currency. So I understand why they would rebrand. And man, I really appreciate the press release they did and everything. So you guys should check it out on another time or at another time. I'd love to have them back on the show. I think I'm supposed to have an interview with both Rob and with Rolf because I had one with Rowan the first time, and I'd love to have more of the team back on. Hey, appreciate it, man. Appreciate you saying that, Christian. That's a very, very kind words. So yeah, that's just it. As miners, guys, we don't have to sweat it. Watch, I'm going to go back to the charts. They're going to be like, yeah, volume like poof, spiking through the roof. Oh no, panic. There's really no reason to panic, right? There really isn't. If volume isn't super high, that's at least one indicator for us that assets aren't being sloughed off by a ton of people within the space. I mean, shoot, even if they are. Yeah. So Neil is very confident that he thinks he knows what the hash rate will be. Guys, I'm not confident. I don't know what it's going to be. So, guys, as far as rendering goes, photorealistic rendering, it can heavily rely on ray tracing, but it's just one form of rendering. It's not the only form. Ray tracing versus path tracing. Just different rendering algorithm. But there are different rendering algorithms that produce different results. I'll put it that way. And so there you go. You can see you can see the two different rendering outputs right there. Ray tracing is one thing that helps, but it is for a specific desired finished look, and it tends to be more heavily used for like architecture, for rigid body animation like cars, airplanes, things like that. But when it comes to organic materials, creatures, characters, fur, cloth, sometimes water as well, ray tracing might not be the right option. And so there's all kinds of other rendering algorithms, or rather rendering considerations that have to be taken into account. So somebody who's buying rendering, they don't necessarily need ray tracing all the time. So getting yourself a 2080, telling yourself, I'm going to earn a killing on my render bounties, that may or may not be true. So I'd be very cautious about that. And Christian, I appreciate you being a voice of reason in the comments. Yeah. So I appreciate you being a voice of reason in the comments. At the current pricing, it would be terrible to try to get a ton of the newer cards. So there we go. See right there? This is rendered geometry with a texture map on it. This is ray tracing to get more realistic light and shadow. You don't necessarily need ray tracing. And you certainly don't need ray tracing outside of like rigid bodies like this. It's much harder to do. So to have this, for example, on a character's face, on their skin, right, is not correct. You might need a combination of render passes. So, Simple's Meerkat, I appreciate you saying that too. No one in the right mind would buy a 2080 at all. I don't know about that. I think gamers are going to be interested in this. It's going to be fun, especially for racers, right? So Corey, as you guys know from the Discord server, he does sim racing. This is going to be awesome for rigid body animation, like on cars. It's going to be really cool. Racetracks, glass, right? So anything that is meant to emulate some kind of enamel surface or glass or mirror surface like that is going to look great with ray tracing. It is. But it's not going to be perfect for every possible application. You see right there, the other stuff is pretty darn cool. See the physics engine working in the background there, some of the particles that are flying away. None of that is helped by ray tracing. None of that is changed or affected at all by ray tracing. So having specific hardware that just does this is cool, but we don't know how useful it's going to be for mining. Hey, Osiris, appreciate you saying that, guys. If you're brand new on the live stream, thank you so much for hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button. Yep. Hey, thank you, Learn VFX, guys. We have a resident expert in the comment section right now talking about how you need subsurface scattering, which requires a lot of samples, like he's saying. And subsurface scattering would be like that first layer of skin. We don't really think about it, but it's partially translucent. And the thing that really reflects light is actually just underneath that first layer of skin. And so it's pretty amazing. It's a pretty difficult process trying to make human characters and creatures look real. And then with ray tracing, it may or may not be helpful for fur or hair, right? If it's not meant to have any kind of a shiny surface, any kind of a sheen to it, then why, right? So this is cool. It's a cool story, bro. But for mining, again, we don't even know if any of this hardware, this dedicated hardware, is going to be helpful at all. We don't know. We can't know. All right, so, and Catfish is saying 1060s are still going to be good. Same with P106 and same with P104. Guys, the mining efficiency charts, I dialed in for what is available today. This stuff, it's going to be cool for gamers when it ships. I really do think it's going to be awesome, especially for people who do the sim racing like Corey does, and for people who play games where this particular element of the world that's being created, where ray tracing is a net positive, right? But it might not be a net positive for a lot of players. It really might not be. And as we discovered with the physics engine, right? The physics engine that NVIDIA bought, which, as you remember, was a separate coprocessor before, and then they added the physics engine into software for the NVIDIA line. It took a while before games could even leverage it. So I'm sure that they mentioned here there are a couple of titles that support this. But if you're watching this live stream, you're not here to talk about playing video games, right? And you're not here to talk about real-time rendering of architecture for architectural walkthroughs and mockups. That'll be cool. I mean, it really will be if you're into architecture video, and maybe you're a real estate agent or real estate company that wants to create mockups for your pitch decks. Go sell the next Dodger Stadium to the city of Los Angeles. You can do that. So right here, what they're saying is they're doing a comparison. Yeah, RTX operations. Oh no, your current 1080 doesn't do them. It doesn't have any of the T's. Oh no. What are we going to do? So what am I going to do? Frame buffer, GDDR5X. I think gamers are going to find that GDDR5X served them perfectly well. That it was fine. And let's look over their full specs and the comparison breakdown. Oh my gosh, now they don't have the comparison. Give me a break. So the RTX 2080, this is the Founders Edition. This is on NVIDIA's website, guys. You probably already know these prices very well. $7.99 and 0 cents. Let's just zoom in as much as we can. Oh God, where'd you go, price? $7.99. Wait, what? $7.99 and 0 cents. I just wanted to make that as ridiculous as possible. We get it. It's $800, guys. Stop. So $800 for the new 2080. Yeah, so it possibly it's going to be helpful for post houses and for media production studios that do real estate walkthrough. But I don't even know that that's necessarily going to be the case. I don't know that they're going to be, oh, finally, thank you, NVIDIA. I can finally start doing real-time ray tracing of these architectural walkthroughs. Whew, I was just not earning any money before. Thanks. I can spend $800 to finally start rendering real-time walkthroughs of real estate? Were they in business before? They had to have been. I don't think they were waiting for this technology. And frankly, they could have been using different rendering solutions that gave really good results anyway. So yeah, guys, what do I think about it? I think that I'm just not impressed. I think it's going to be great for certain buyers, but I don't think that we're the audience for this. And I think that NVIDIA has made it very clear by creating mining editions of their cards that if it's possible for us to access them, that they would prefer for us to. I think that's what NVIDIA has done, just in general here. Also, nothing screams efficiency like 2 full 8-pin power sockets. Oh boy. Heaven help us. Alrighty. See, RT. Oh, it's a single page. All right, Bam Bam is saying RTX is a generation too soon for gaming. 50 FPS at 1080p running RTX. Coming from a competitive gaming scene, this sucks. We want 4K, 144 frames per second, not RTX. Yeah. And Learn VFX is saying, I think we'll probably still be doing the same kind of GPU, or CPU rendering for final renders. Still, guys, you got a VFX Pro in the audience saying there's kind of nothing to see here. So yeah, this will be a neat toy for some gamers. Some. But it's possibly not going to be a game changer for media producers. Definitely not going to make any difference in terms of video encoding, because that we don't even know how well utilized this custom hardware is going to be in the games, let alone how useful it may be to other projects that need to have access to that hardware to try to do fancy stuff like mining and encoding. So we'll see. And Learn VFX is asking, what's the interface to these ray tracing features? DirectX, OpenGL? We don't know. I think it's DirectX though. Hold on. Before I say I don't know. If I had to bet money, if I had to bet and guess right now, I would guess it's DX12 or DX13, whatever's coming next from Windows or from Microsoft. Because, as you know, Microsoft and the gaming industry are like this. Like this, I tell you. They are tight. So, hey, guys, that's me showing off the new camera setup for the office, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, dudes. Your princess is in another castle. So let's look at what to mine, and let's pretend like RTX never happened. Just for another week, humor me here. And let's look at what P106 and P104 would do. So for P106, there we go. Go with a 1080. And pop this up to 328. And throw in all the algos. Yeah, Simple's Meerkat. It's possible that Jensen did make this particular line for a very specific application and had a very specific buyer in mind. So it looks like Ethereum is still profitable to mine if you're going with cards that are made for it. P106, all we have to do is throw in 1060s. Though we can decrease power by a tiny bit, we're not going to for right now. And let's go with profitability over 7 days. Guys, can't say it enough. Difficulty for revenue, also going to average it over 7 days. Just keep your cool. Keep your cool. I don't think there's any need to panic right now, especially with mining. And let's look at the 7-day average. So on an 8-card P106 rig, which, as you know, is what I've got in the lab, we're looking at profitability of about almost $2 a day, so $1.78 a day, with a total revenue of about $350. So if you have either free electricity or you have a way to get subsidized electricity, then you can get a little higher profit there. Metaverse, somebody mentioned in the comments that I've got a Metaverse masternode. Guys, you know that I looked at the Metaverse project and I was not, I'm concerned, right? I can't really read much about them that helps bring up my confidence. So I don't really know what to think about Metaverse yet. I don't want to say anything critical about Metaverse other than that I just don't know what to think about them yet. And when we visited their website, I couldn't really get good info about their team. I really couldn't. It was very hard to find decent info on their team. Yeah. So guys, I'm kind of done talking about RTX right now. Sorry. When it ships, I'll take a look at it to do like a shootout between 1080 Ti and 2080. How about that? Yeah? Is that fair? As soon as it's actually a real product in the market, I'll do a shootout between 1080 Ti and 2080. I see you agree. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, stop. We're done completely with RTX for now. Just for now. Or I am anyway. Jeez. Crypto North, appreciate you tuning in. Yep. So just that quick update. As more stuff comes out, guys, we'll talk about it a little bit more. But I want to talk about it from a miner's perspective because yeah, any of the stuff that happens in crypto, if you're not looking at it from like, where do I have leverage? Where do I have a means to take action and do something that results in some kind of benefit? Then why are you talking about it? Why are you worrying about it? Why are so many people running around like the sky is falling? Right? I mean, sure, we're not too far from bull run prices right now. If you entered the market like, say, late November or whatever, or early December, then sure, we're not too far from about the pricing that you saw then. And then there was massive growth, right? There were a couple of dips that people could buy leading up to that bull run, and there were some. Then there's been a big correction. But for mining, that hasn't made it totally unprofitable to mine. It just means that the break-even point has been pushed a little bit farther out, right? So paying attention to what your actual business plan is one of the most important things to do right now. So Jeff is calling out a couple of specific coins, and I want to take a quick look at it. No, actually, Jeff, I'm not noticing that that particular comment holds true. I'm not noticing that. It looks like everybody has been affected almost exactly the same. The curve looks nearly identical for all of them. Yeah, it does. It does. They all look like they've all been affected in largely the same way. And like many of them have their fate pegged to Bitcoin. That's what it looks like to me. And that's okay. Guys, that's what I'm saying. That's okay. It's okay to acknowledge that's the case. Don't get too attached to any one crypto, right? Like in the film world, there's this saying, you have to be prepared to kill your darlings, like to kill your babies, so to speak, and kill your darlings. So when you have an idea that you're really attached to, you can't just let yourself be vehemently attached to your own idea. You got to work with people. So you got to work with people and take new ideas in and assimilate them, and not be too hard-headed about developing thoughts. Looking at crypto, if you get too attached to one coin and you really believe that you have to hodl that one coin, you might be in for a REKTonning, right? That sounds so bad. That sounds way worse than it was supposed to. R-E-K-T, REKTonning. You're in for, a world of hurt. Yeah, Osiris, that we can all agree with. Tether is going to the moon. Hey, thank you for that. Thank you for that endorsement. I don't know that I could. I can't imagine trying to run against Donald Trump right now. Could you imagine that? Like trying to run against Donald Trump? That guy is such a hype machine. How could you? Like, you'd have to literally wear a clown costume and do cartwheels everywhere you go and be like, I'm running for president. I'm running for president. Like everywhere you go, and have I don't know what you would do. How do you follow up and act like that? The guy's just a mess. I guess, by that token, maybe John McAfee isn't such a terrible candidate. Maybe he could make Bitcoin go to whatever, 100 million, whatever he said. I don't know what his quote is. 100,000. Anyway, REKTonning. Yeah, maybe I should. But yeah, I'm looking at I'm looking at a few different projects, and yeah, it's like a knife fight, right, guys? And crypto with crypto and Bitcoin just holds the biggest knife. So if it starts doing damage, I'm sorry, you're getting cut. That's what's going to happen. The only way to avoid getting cut in a knife fight is just to not get into a knife fight. So the only way to avoid bleeding in a market like this is just to step away from it and go invest in something else. Yeah, Ben, that might be the way to do it, right? I'll just be like, I'll just make a list of things. I'll go up to the podium and be like, I hate items A through Z. Vote for me. Right? Maybe seemed like a good strategy. It could work. So, yeah. Guys, I'm not worried. I guess that's the upshot of today's video. I'm just not worried. So, looking at what to mine, and then checking out Metaverse again, it's high on the profitability list. And somebody mentioned, hey, Jeff, really appreciate you throwing out that super chat there. Appreciate you. So looking at the Metaverse, their Bitcoin Talk announcement. Yeah, it was when we looked at their website before that I didn't feel very confident in the team yet. But looking at the announcement here and looking at the project itself, we need to take a closer look, I think. But it's been high on profitability for a while now. Wait, translation for Vietnamese, if needed. Okay. Well, they're going on a year now. Oh, wow. Yeah, somebody talking about how arbitraging is the new mining. I don't know. Could be. So, yeah, Metaverse, guys, it's high on the list of profitability here for what to mine, at least. And it's right there next to Ethereum. Ethereum Classic is not far behind. As you know, it's listed. So profitability for the time spent, right, on your either your 1060s or your P106s seems like it's not time wasted, right? So even though the price is low, it's still profitable. Guys, profit is profit is profit. Just build your projections around it, right? So spreadsheets are your friend. Make sure that you have mapped out what your CapEx is, and you've been able to figure out how much you need to earn every month to be able to pay that down, and what your break-even point is. And if profit goes down, but it's still profitable, it just pushes out your break-even point. And with GPUs, there's always another coin, always another algo, and there's not a big problem there. With ASICs, if you feel like you have to go that way, you guys have heard me say it, then I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to judge you. But I wouldn't get ASICs myself, personally. So AZ is asking about Neoscript coins. Neoscript coins and Feathercoin. Let me do this. Let's try to go with different categories. So I'll keep Zhash and then Kryptonite, Equihash. Yeah, so we'll just take away Ethereum or Dagger Hashimoto. We'll recalculate without Dagger Hashimoto. Just get those coins out of the running. So, bummer, turns out that, wait, what? How did I miss that? By not eliminating Dagger Hashimoto before. Looks like some of the Lyra 2 Rev 2 coins are higher, at least for the P104. Oh, I moved over to the P104. That explains a lot. Jeez. I was like, man, the profit is so much higher. What changed? A lot changed. I toggled a very big switch there. Let's take away Dagger Hashimoto here for the P106. And here for the P106, Bitcoin Gold's at the top of the list. It's still over $1 a day for a big baby miner with P106 pre-installed, which is what I've got over here, essentially. And it's kind of nice that that's higher in profitability than any of the nice hash options. So that's really cool. Yeah, definitely cool. And looks like Zen Cash, it's still listed as Zen Cash and Zen here, but Horizon, due to the new name change, that it's still profitable as well. It's not hugely profitable, but if you're trying to build up collateral to get a master node, it might be better to mine something else, right? And then trade, mine and dump essentially, but mine and then trade on exchange to get yourself enough of the Zen Cash collateral, if that's what you want. Hey guys, looks like Yankee is in the comments. Thanks for saying hello, Yankee. Always great seeing you in the comments. Always great getting your feedback and your questions. So that's on P106. Let's go back over to P104. And without Dagger Hashimoto, it looks like top coin outside of working for Nice Hash, working for the man, there's VertCoin, which is cool. It's cool that it's a project you can actually mine to. I want to say that they are changing from Lyra to Rev 2 soon. They mentioned as much when they were on the show that they wanted to move away from Lyra to Rev 2. I don't know that there's any news on that front just yet, but if and when that's the case, it should maintain GPU mineability and might leave FPGAs behind because, as you know, Lyra to Rev 2 is one of the it's one of the algos that is targeted by both Acorn and I believe also. Hey, Denny, thanks so much for saying that. Smash the like button. Hey, Yankee, I appreciate you saying that too. I am tired, buddy. I really am. Yeah, I really am. Justin, thanks so much for that super chat. Guys, really appreciate it. Thank you. It means a lot. So, yeah, I really am tired. It's been primarily, I think what's been just like draining me has been primarily getting the Mind Your Biz shop up and running. No, Firefox. Yeah, you're nice. I like you, but not that much. But getting the Mind Your Biz shop up and running and dealing with payment processors, having to switch from Coinbase Commerce and remove it from the store because it didn't calculate correctly, or the volatility, it destroyed an order for one of our community members. And so I'm like, well, that's lame. And so now I've got to do a manual refund of their Ether, which is a bummer for them. And it's a bummer for me because now we're losing out on transfer fees, right? I can't, it's going to be, or I'm having to eat transfer fees. So that's kind of a bummer. And so working on this, doing the redesign, adding the marquee, look pretty good. But I've been burning the midnight oil is what I'm saying, to try to get all this stuff up and running. And then attempting to make sure that we don't get any weird like bogey content in here. That BioStar board that I had listed before, guys, I can't source it at the right price and I ran out of stock anyway. So I'm looking at maybe delisting it or maybe doing it differently. I don't know. You tell me if you want to do a group buy. I'd need to get 10 of them, I think, in order to be able to list it again. But it is a good board and it should. Yeah. Hey, so Justin's asking a really good question. Do I stress when break even looks like it will exceed average GPU life? Define average GPU life, because there are GPUs that are 5 years old and they're doing great. They're doing just fine. And Benjamin, it's not a bad idea to get a warranty on cards that have them, that offer an extended warranty. But realistically, there's nobody that offers a 5-year warranty. Even when you buy the extended warranties from, say, from value-added retailers like e-tailers, right? Like Amazon or like Newegg, you're not going to get more than 4 years out of a warranty, out of a third-party warranty. There are cards that are still mining that are over 5 years old. Over 5 years old, they're still mining. In fact, I believe the majority of cards that were mining 5 years ago are still mining. Are still mineable, right? So, pretty crazy. Hey, Josh is asking about, for the boards, the BioStar boards, I think I'd have to get 10 boards. Not 10 cases, but 10 boards. Yeah. Yeah, hey, Yankee, I appreciate you mentioning that specifically. The R9 270Xs were still profitable until the latest pump. That's awesome. So, Arstine, the BioStar boards, gosh, I don't even have them listed. I don't even have them. Yeah, I delisted them. But the BioStar boards, they're riserless, a bit like the Baby Bones motherboard right here. Nice. Brian's got the HD 7950 still going. That's awesome. And somebody's saying that if you get EVGA or MSI, that mining doesn't void the warranty. That's cool. Yeah, very cool. So right here, this is the big baby motherboard, and this is just for mining. It's just for mining. The BioStar motherboard, however, on the primary slot, I'm just going to go ahead and we'll use this as an example. Guys, this isn't actually... Let me do this. Oh, yeah, snipping tool. Okay, so now we can do a little bit of markup. But on the BioStar board, we'll pretend like this is their board. That slot right there. Actually, I'm going to do it again. But the slot right here is a full... Oh my gosh, that looks terrible. Alrighty, let's try to actually write. It's a full PCIe 3.0, 16 electrical lanes on that primary slot. So, and I recommended something that I got to give props to BDF. We talked about it in the Discord channel or Discord server, and BDF mentioned a different configuration. So AZ, I think you're talking about a 1 to 8 USB card, USB riser card. I ran out of stock, so it got delisted as well. When I run out of stock, the stuff automatically delists. So that's kind of why I went with Shopify, guys. Somebody asked me before, like, hey, I'll make a custom website for you. And I'm like, dude, will you do custom inventory? Because that's actually the hard part. It really is. But right here, PCIe 3.0. So you get all the speed of PCIe 3.0 at 16x. And so what I would recommend doing is throwing in a Nest X2G. And if you recall, Squirrel's research right here, the next Nest X2G has 2 cards, or 2 of the Acorns on it. It'll accommodate 2 of the Acorn CLE 215 pluses, and then has these 4 leads right here that are USB for mining cards. So that'll take up the remaining bandwidth. Pretty cool, right? So you'll have 2 Acorns, and we'll just put 215 plus there. So 215 ST, no, 215 plus. So 2 Acorns, and then 4 GPUs. All on that one slot, right? 4 risers from that one slot. And then you'll have 7 more risers over here. And on that BioStar board, all those right there, those are all X1 electrical running at PCIe 2.0 speeds. So you get a little higher bandwidth than just PCI 1.0. So Hugh Mining, you're asking, can you use Acorns on 6 cards? Can you? You can. Yeah, you could use Acorn 1-to-1 as long as you have a host device that'll accommodate all the Acorns. You could use Acorns 1-to-1, especially with Vega. Vega is it benefits greatly from using Acorn, and 1 Acorn per Vega. Yeah, so and that's just it, guys. I don't want to steal any of David's thunder. He knows this stuff way better than I do, but this is just in conversation in the community on our Discord server. So it's his product, right? He's been doing all the research, and he's had paid researchers or paid employees and freelancers running tests for him to check out different configurations. So on that BioStar motherboard, guys, the reason I was so excited is because you can have 2 of the Acorns in that slot, but then you've also got an M.2 slot that should, at least as per BioStar's their specs, should give you 32 gigabits per second of bandwidth. So you should be able to get another Acorn running on it. Will it be a little bit gimped up? It might be, because I guess somebody had mentioned that it's only 2 lanes of direct memory interface, or 2 lanes of DMI. So that's kind of a bummer if that's the case. I don't know if that's the case. BioStar seems to assert that you're going to get a lot of bandwidth, but if it's only 2 lanes, then that's lower than what Acorn requires to have top performance. However, it's still 2 lanes. These other slots right here, even if you threw in an Acorn Nest or some kind of a converter to give them M.2, they're only 1x electrical. So having this M.2 slot still allows you to throw in an Acorn. Even if it's marginally utilized, you're going to see some benefit from throwing it in. So now you've got 3 Acorns, 2 of which are on the same card and same bus as those 4 GPUs. So you should get pretty good speeds out of those, if I'm reading it correctly, and then have 7 other cards. So 11 GPUs. Let me actually do. Yeah, Roderick, I'm with you. It'd be great to have a card, to have a board that could. So 11 GPUs. You know, I was going to say 3 acorns, but what I'm going to do instead is say 2.5 acorns. I need a better mouse. So 2.5 acorns, we'll say. This is on the BioStar board, guys. So that's why I was so excited about it. That's why I listed it on the Mind Your Biz store, on shop.mindyourbiz. So it delisted because I ran out of stock, ran out of inventory. Just wanted to make that clear. And I mentioned on our live stream the other day that you might put the, might consider putting the, yeah, so Q mining acorns do run on the M.2 slot. And risers with integrated nuts would be a cool thing. How about this? How about a device like the Nest X2G that lets you just put risers, attach risers to a PCIe adapter card? That was their idea there, and I think this is great. But as far as actually putting them on the risers themselves, guys, pitch it to David. Hop into Discord. Hop into the FPGA Discord. Hop into the minority Discord and pitch it. I don't know if it would work, but you know, pitch it to him. See what he has to say. How about so Josh? So creating a converter from PCIe 2.0 to 3.0. Think about it like a straw, right? Like a funnel. So it'll work one way, but it won't work the other. So once there's a bottleneck in the signal, you can't grow that signal to have more bandwidth. So a PCIe 2.0 lane can never be like up converted into a PCIe 3.0 lane, if that makes sense. So getting a special riser wouldn't change the fundamental characteristics of the board that you're putting it on. I hope that answers that question. So yeah, Benjamin, I agree. When I first saw the Acorn announcement, I was excited by this product most. I really was. Because if future Acorn designs maintain the M.2 form factor, which I think they should personally, then you can do an upgrade into this same card and you get an instant upgrade to all of your GPUs. How cool is that, right? And if you have an old motherboard that only has a single PCIe 16 lane slot, but it can utilize all 16 lanes, you drop this thing in and all of a sudden you've got 4 GPUs and 2 of these things on it. Whereas before, it might have been harder to find something that would expand to let you use more GPUs. But guys, in the store as well, Josh asked about it. I had a PCIe 16 lane card, adapter card that has 8 USB PCIe riser leads on it. So I've got a question about another Asus board. Yeah, so Josh, you're right. It would be bottlenecked on any board that has PCIe 2.0. So, and Roderick, you're asking about would Acorns work with the current Nests that are available? So you're talking about the Asus M.2 PCIe adapter. Quad. That should help us get the part number, right? You're talking about these right here. And yes, they do work with them. And David has been very straightforward about that. However, it requires a specific no thanks, B&H. It requires a specific chipset or greater, right? And I believe it's gosh, I forget which chipset it is, but it has to it has to already have that specific chipset. And the reason that they created the X2G and the X4 is to allow a broader variety of motherboards to be used. So yeah. It totally works right here. The Hyper M.2 X16 card it utilizes all 16 lanes and then lets you drop 4 into there. And yeah, it's 64 bucks. I think when they first made the announcement of Acorn, you could get them for like 50 bucks. It's gone up now. So they're probably all being listed by resellers. So if you hit up the Mind Your Biz Discord, then we'll link you over to any of the other discords that you need. We'll make sure to create, like in the FPGA channel and everywhere else. We'll do that. So yeah, guys, GPU Hoarder was not shy about just saying that, yes, these do work. They do, but they only work in a specific hardware configuration. So they don't migrate to other kinds of motherboards. But guys, the BioStar I'm particularly excited about. That's why I had it listed on there. I think I had a question about another motherboard in the comments section, and I can look it up. And let's see. Huge disparity in pricing there. That's crazy. I see it anywhere listed from $100 all the way up to almost 170. Similar buyers, or similar sellers rather. So let's head straight to the horse's mouth, straight to the source here. Yeah. So Rod, I agree with you. Let's be supportive of SQRL and let's get these products that they worked so hard to create, especially Acorn Nest X2G. I think it's a phenomenal product that's going to give you a lot of mileage out of your current mining hardware. And so like this in particular, I think is just like the pièce de résistance. The X4 is cool. It's cool that you can stuff a lot of Acorns onto certain boards, but having 2 Acorns paired with 4 GPUs in any of your available X16 slots is pretty powerful, I think. Especially if you have cards that can be accelerated, that can have up to 2 cards accelerated per Acorn, if that makes sense. So like the GTX 1060, or like if you have the RX 550 or 560, right? So lower powered cards that will get the full benefit. So Josh is asking about any 12+1 GPU boards that are all PCIe 3.0. So right here, this board right here, what do I think about? Oh, yeah. Like it's okay. Sure, it's fine. One of the issues is that 20 graphics cards, you're going to have some limitations from the OS as far as what will be recognized and what drivers will load. So you'd have to, with miners like this, you're not going to get past 12 cards when you're using, say, a GTX 1080 Ti. You're going to get to 12 1080 Ti's, and then the remaining 8 will have to be like P102s, if that makes sense, to stay within the same broad category of hashing power, because those are recognized and the drivers load as like mining coprocessors, not as GPUs per se. They use they're just sensed differently. How do I know this? I know this because KJS of Ethereal Capital, that's how cards have to be loaded up on Blackbox, for example, the 16 slot riserless system that he has, and several other manufacturers. Rod, you're totally right. We do need pocket protectors and bubble gum. And then we need like thick rimmed glass frames too, which mine broke. Boo. Because they're prescription. Like you guys always see me wearing like my reading glasses, and I'm like, I'm a sellout. I need my proper nerd glasses, and I need to stop squinting. Right? I need like both. So yeah, Josh, I'm with you. Yeah, why not? Right? Like, why not have mining edition cards? It's cool that it's socket LGA 1151, and you can put a full desktop CPU in it. But with this configuration, why? Why do it? All of your CPUs or all of your GPUs, like every single one, is constrained. And that top port right there, we can check to see They don't really mention the specs on that first, the full 16X physical slot. So I don't know. And yeah, I've looked at it before. It's cool that it has the 3 ATX power leads on it. It's cool that it has the reset button. I want to say I've talked about it before, guys. I did cover this in a live news video not too long ago. So a couple of things that I like about it are the SATA 3 leads right there. I like that it has 2 of them because that means you can set up 2 different OSs if you want on the same system, and you can do dual boot if you really want to, and then just set that up from the BIOS right as you're doing whatever algo tuning in Windows and algo tuning over in your favorite Linux distro or your favorite mining distro. You can do that and have it just attached, and then move on. Or yeah, gives you some options. I like I/O. I like I/O is what I'm saying. And I like that it right there, it has the error codes available right there with a little display, physical reset button, physical start button. So you don't have to like wire your own start button or whatever. So that's nice. The 20 vertical ports that's cool. But I want to know about this right here. That's what I want to know about is the full 16X or X16 physical output. USB 3.1, that's cool because if you wanted to attach a RAID and you felt like doing double duty, like storage or Filecoin or whatever, you wanted to have proof of storage in addition to doing proof of work some other way, you could. So USB 3.1 gives you 10 gigabits per second of throughput per port. So 10 gigabits per second, you could attach a RAID to both of those ports right there. And then you clearly have USB 3.0 right here at 5 gigabits per second, so you can attach a RAID to those 2 ports as well. So 4 ports where you could have an attached RAID moving at very fast speeds. Granted, where's the bottleneck? Right here on the LAN. So you're not going to be able to pipe all of that out over the built-in LAN. So maybe sacrifice one of these USB 3.1 ports right there. I don't know. Is there a 10 gig E? USB adapter. I wonder. Okay. Yeah, looks like I'm not the only person to wonder. But if you did have really fast storage, you'd need to, of course, also have really fast internet connection. I mean, 1 gigabit per second is probably all you need right there, but I don't know. A RAID living on the edge. Come on now, Eric. This did not used to be so edgy. RAID used to, for some of us, RAID is a way of life, right? It's a necessity. You have to have it. Anyway, the world's first 20 GPU mining motherboard. I think I actually moved away from listing this on the store. Yeah, I think I did. Yeah. Why did I do that? I'm trying to remember why I moved away from having this on the store, guys. I think because of the ATX. I think that was it. Because of the ATX power supplies. It just felt like it was pointless. GPU state detection and farm-friendly labels. Onboard debug LEDs. Yeah, so that is nice with the Q code there. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna tell us much about that full 16 lane physical slot. But let's find out if we can learn a little more. So yeah, it just tells us one PCIe 16 lane slot, but it doesn't tell us what the electrical standard is there. It doesn't tell us if it's PCIe 3.0, if it's PCIe 2.0, it doesn't tell us if it's all 16 lanes electrical. And I doubt that it is. That's just it. Sorry, guys. I doubt it. Well, this is not listed correctly because USB 3.1 should be 10 gigabits per second. Otherwise, why have it? And why list it as a feature? That's dumb. Oh my gosh. All right. Sorry, Aces. Love your face. I hate this description. It's not helpful. So what do I think about it? I think that was the reason that I moved away from it, was because I couldn't get info on what that full 16-lane physical slot was. So bummer. But this, for example, requires a PCIe 3.0 16-lane electrical connection. So pretty important. Yeah, and Jolinator saying 7 GPUs max per ATX 24 pin. I guess. Yeah, I guess if you had a... Gosh, I've got a couple of 1600 watt ATX PSUs lying around here. And I think that, yeah, they could all accommodate 6 or 7 GPUs. So, So yeah, guys, let's wind it down. We've been live streaming for almost 2 hours. We had poor viewers drop off like so many flies. Why am I so exhausted? Probably because of this store. That's probably why. And I'm going to be a little more exhausted before I get to the interviews, 2 of them tomorrow. One with Vector Dash, the other with Jack and Jill Fleek. Guys, I'm wondering. Hey, Ben, that's great that you are running 9 Vegas. That's awesome. That's very cool. If you wouldn't mind posting your rig, pictures of your rig over in the rig measuring contest over in our Discord server, that'd be awesome, man. We'd love to see it. Yeah, Tech Ken, you're saying I wanted non-riser, I wanted riserless systems. Yeah, I guess I did personally. They are easier. So you figure whatever the price is. Dude, no, Asus, not sauce. It started auto-suggesting sausage party, and I'm like, no. But Asus 370 Mining Master. Yeah, I did look at it once before, guys. I did already review it. I don't know. Would you guys like me to add it to the store if you want to check it out? There might be somebody that already has riser. Like, I mean, I've got dozens of risers lying around too, guys, lying around. So like, I mean, I could use a board like this. I wouldn't mind using a board like this. But as you know, you swap out GPUs on a board like this, and it doesn't matter. Like a riser that was working 5 minutes ago, when you swap out the GPU, stops working all of a sudden because something just becomes just a little bit unseated, like not correctly, right? It's either signal or it's power or it's both, and you wiggle it just a little bit and you restart it and all of a sudden it works. But then that one works and all of a sudden another one stops working. And so you swap out risers with that one, because even though it was working before you did the restart, now it's not working, but you change it out and now all of a sudden it works. You guys know what I'm saying is true. Risers are such a friggin' pain in the butt. I hate working with them. Right? Seriously, guys, throw me a 1 in solidarity in the comments if that's been your experience with risers before. Bob, thanks for saying hello, and thank you for saying goodbye. Guys, throw up a 1. I know that's been your experience with risers. I know you've had to do the 2-step with risers, right? And that's why, for me, I've been focused a lot on riserless boards. I don't think that's what brought my attention away from this one, to be honest. But riserless boards in general have been getting more love from me because I'm like, dude, they work. Why would I ever go back? Why? Why would I do that to myself? Why would I do that to my family? Like, my wife and kids will never see me again if I spend another all-nighter trying to fix freaking risers. You know what I mean? You guys know what I mean. So, anyway. But yeah, so there you can get really weird boards, guys. We had DJ Dave, who was in China last week, and he hopped into the comment section hopped into Discord saying, like, take a look at this, look at what I found. And he found some pretty crazy stuff in China, like a 50 GPU riserless board that had like this riserless backplane that plugged into a central board that was just like super exotic, but it caused so many problems, right? You get to that point and it's like, no, that is too many to have on one system. 8 or 9, maybe, no problem. Or like, sure, maybe 4 risers. Yeah, maybe 4 risers on the 12 GPU riserless boards, right? So they have 8 riserless slots and then 4 leads for you to attach some GPU risers onto. Yeah, so Jolinator, like you're saying, only running 7 GPUs per PSU. That does kind of suck, right? Like, why wouldn't you? Gosh, do I have one handy? I got one handy right over here. Okay. These guys and Pico boards, right? Like, oh, the label's totally green. That's hilarious. Got keyed out. It's funny. Oh, and then the PCB is going to get keyed out too. But why doesn't my face show up behind it, huh? Yeah, you know why. Anyway, so yeah, I'm with you. It ain't broke, right? It ain't broke. Don't fix it. Stick with server PSUs and, and maintain your sanity. Or potentially go with the Bitmain style, right? 1600, 2200 watts switching with the 6-pin power outlets, and then get yourself a bunch of Y power splitters. So just way easier. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, I can add it to the store, guys. If you want me to look for some options that do require risers, that's fine. I'll look for some good boards. What I will say is that I had a hard time finding the ASRock H110 BTC Pro from the supplier list that I could use. So yeah. Well, this is interesting. I don't know. I think the ASRock is better. Yeah, I think the ASRock's a lot better. You can run it with 8 if you want. You can run it with 10. You can run it with 12 if you really want. And yeah. All right, guys. So now you know why I've been kind of MIA, but also we looked really briefly at the ETF, kind of what it means for us as miners. Section 6B5, they're trying to save us from ourselves, right? Trying to save us from ourselves. With that, I'll leave you that happy thought, guys. I don't see any good reason to stop mining. Do you? Let me know in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going over at Discord, guys. Over in the Discord server. You know I love your face. And I will see you very soon. Peace.